Welcome back.
Denali, let's start driving first. Welcome in.
Welcome back.
How's things? Oh man, I'm running late this morning. Yeah, no surprises there though. I can't get a handle on my life. I don't know what I'm doing, so we'll just roll with it. I've just accepted that if I say I start at 9, that just means some other time that's not 9. Hey, Supersonic, good to see you.
Welcome back.
I think I know what you're trying to say, Base Guru, but it's not. I think I know, but man, the spelling. That's the correct spelling. No, that is certainly a spelling. Brother man. Hey, Monkey Jack, welcome back, man. Yeah, okay. I Googled it because I knew better. Oh my gosh, I'll put it in chat.
Welcome back.
It's whatever be will be. Miss me. Dude, I believed you for like a moment. Alright, I need you to know. I believed you for a moment. Hydrate. Thanks. Okay. Alright, all the chats seem to be connected. Can't help it, it's a disability. Alright, okay, yeah, we can do the game news in this hat today.
It's Pikachu!
It's Pikachu! Alright, welcome in everybody! Welcome back to the game news. To Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Happy Wednesday. How's it going? This week has kind of gone by quick, which is good because work has been extra stupid. But I'm glad to not be working at the moment. At this very moment. But right after the stream, we gotta start work, which is kind of a bummer. So maybe we could drag it out today. Welcome in everybody. I hope you're all having a good week so far. Let's have the midweek check-in scale from 1 to 10. How you doing? 10 being amazing and 1 being Jesus take the wheel. How are we doing this week, everybody? I'd give myself it's probably a 7, 6.5. You know, it's not the best week ever, but it definitely isn't going poorly. It's just annoying. Yeah, the usual suspects here. But welcome in. Good to see everybody. I am so thankful people are here today. Give it a solid 8 point V. Does that work? Can you Roman decimal? My gosh, dude. That is super funny. Yo. Welcome in, folks. Good to see people. Monkey's having a 10, man. Best week ever. Good to see you. I love to see it. Nora, welcome in. Chester's, hello, welcome. Good to see y'all in chat. You can tell them anything you bring your keyboard hard. I mean, that's true. That's true. That's true. Got ya. Oh man, I've been got. You subbed? Let's go, dude. Thanks for hitting that sub button. Don't forget to hit the like button wherever you're watching. Except on purple, because there's no like button there. But thanks for trying. But it's good to see everybody in chat this morning. What a hyped up morning. Give those cool vibes. Well, fake it till you make it, you know? Oh my gosh. Ask me. That scared me. We got hit with a lizard. Lizard. Love that meme. Oh man. But appreciate y'all being here. If you guys could check out the full screen stream, we are trying to get the watch time up. You hit the lizard button. You did. Don't leave whatever app you're watching on, but definitely go check out the YouTube channel. We are trying to hit YouTube partner this year, which means we got to get those watch time numbers up. So thanks for hanging out wherever you're watching. If you're on the vertical stream, definitely stay there. Hit the like button. If you're on another app, open a new tab, open an app, just go to the vertical stream, or go to any of the streams on the channel. Hit the like button, spam the thumbs up emoji in chat once you hit that like button. Let me know you're helping out. How are those numbers coming? Yeah, I've got to get a tracker made this week for you guys so we can see. Let me pull it up though, because I have not checked, because it updates. It's like a 5-day rolling window that it'll show. Like the last. Well, like 5 days ago is the latest date it will show. We are at 1301. We were at like 1100, like 1150 this time last week. So we're at 1301 valid public watch hours right now, which means the numbers are going back up, which is fantastic. We were at like 2800 last December though. So we've got to crank those numbers up, chat. So share the stream, send it to people, get people in here. Encourage people to come watch, but they're coming along. It's coming. All right, as the morning streams usually get, it resets. It's a 12-month window, and so it's not January to December. It's just the last 12 months of wherever you're at, and so it's like a five-day delay on when it reports those watch time hours to me, and then it'll reset. So like we had like last, I guess in 24 early 25, we had a lot of watch time on the Fortnite streams that we were doing then, but then I kind of shifted because Fortnite was getting boring, and I think that deterred people from coming and hanging out as much. Just to be completely honest with you guys, like I think switching off of Fortnite might have upsetty spaghettied some people. Or at least they go, oh, I don't care about this content anymore, you know? What's up, monkey? Okay, let's see. All right, well, let's move to the game news. Chicken. All right, we'll move into the game news and get started there. As we do, I'm gonna swap the music over though, because this is far too hype. It'll distract me. Here we go. All right. It's a little slow, but I can work with it. All right, let's kick things off with some Pokemon news. One of the most hype reasons I wanted GameCube games to come to the Switch Online service was for this game, which is now available. Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness is now available on Switch 2, the GameCube games, Nintendo Classics. Again, only on Switch 2, and if you have the expansion pack. So, you know, that's definitely a bummer for some people. But I think it's cool to see that it finally came to the Switch 2. We can finally play it. I want to start it. I want to play it. I've never played it, and it's like an expensive secondhand game. So I don't know. Thought it was cool to see it finally released. I need to go make sure my stuff updated so I can start playing it. All right, let's talk about this. PlayStation 3 got a firmware update that soft locks disk drives. Let's talk about this. If you still got a PS3 console gathering dust, or perhaps not, under your television set, you'll notice there's a system software update ready to go the next time you turn it on. Sony released the 4.93 update for PS3 consoles worldwide this morning, almost 20 years after the platform launched. It was revealed in a short post that update 4.93 requires a mighty 200 megs of free space, and that the update is centered around additional features, improved usability, and enhanced security. It's also written, please note to play Blu-ray discs, your PS3 needs your PS3 system needs a renewed Blu-ray player encryption key. Please update your PS3 system software to the latest version to renew the Blu-ray player encryption key. This means that you won't be able to run discs in your PS3 until you've installed the 4.93 update. In a recent update, it was revealed that Netflix would be disappearing from the platform on March 2nd. It marked the end of a way to watch 4.3 content on the streaming service, which left retro fans in tatters. Sorry, retro fans. Very secure. No one can get in. Right. Let's not mention that the PS3 has been successfully like jailbroken for a while now, and people are doing all sorts of fun stuff on it. Interesting though that hey, the encryption keys need to be updated for some reason, and we're doing that. Sorry, my kid was asking me a question. It's like, I better answer this if it's important. Anyway, but yeah, wild, right? Like, hey, if your PS3 doesn't play Blu-rays because of a software issue, you gotta update it. All right, well, let's talk about HighGuard. Refunds being issued to PlayStation gamers who spent cash on the free shooter. So HighGuard is already passing from recent memory after being shut down by Wildlight Entertainment just a few days ago. The game was the beating heart of one of the most confusing, audacious moments in recent history, being taken offline a mere 3 months after it was revealed at the Game Awards. Now that the game has died a death, it has died a death. Some gamers have been spotted on social media revealing that the purchases they made in the free-to-play shooter, specifically on PS5, are now being refunded. Are you guaranteed a HighGuard refund? HighGuard was free-to-play right out of the gate, but it was supported by cosmetics-based microtransactions and a premium battle pass system. That means that people, a few at least, parted ways with hard-earned cash in the support of the next breed of shooter that promptly imploded weeks after launch. In a post on social media, one user noted PlayStation was issuing refunds for microtransactions secured in HighGuard when the game was online. The player wasn't looking for or expecting the refund. They would have rather the game stayed online. Quote, I honestly didn't care for a refund. I enjoyed the game and enjoyed supporting it, but if you were looking for a refund, they are sending them out. In the comments under the post, users on other platforms said that refunds weren't being replicated across the likes of Steam or Xbox. The general assumption is that Microsoft and Valve will follow suit and walk in Sony's footsteps regarding the refunds, but that's based on conjecture and hope. So interesting. Hey, Brent, good to see you. I guess it's, if you spent a lot of money, hey, like get your refund. But if you didn't spend a whole lot, I don't imagine it's a big deal to you. It just sucks. That's the problem with a lot of this is like eventually Fortnite won't. I see a way down the line. Like let's talk in the next like 10 years. Fortnite's gonna have to make some substantial changes to either like the architecture or something, and like your inventory won't come over or something won't be able to come over, and you'll lose a lot of purchases. Now, I think that they could figure that out. They likely won't let that situation come up. But there's going to be some changes that have to be made that either cost them more money to keep old things working or port old things to a new system. And a lot of game like service games that try to last that long won't put in that effort. They'll just go, hey, we're starting over. You know, you got to start over. This can't come over. Or, you know, we'll just see something like Highguard shut down after years of support. Like, Highguard obviously only got, you know, a couple of weeks. Let's be honest. But if you've got a service game that's been out for a little while and it shuts down, and those transactions, I mean, like, those aren't necessarily, like, you're not owed anything because the game shut down. And so I don't think it's a good precedent. In Highguard's case, and like Concord as well, it was such a small availability window that it makes sense that this stuff got refunded. But if it's like a long-term game, there's no way they could like refund you the money you put in. Like, I would never expect as much money as I've spent on like Fortnite skins, which isn't a lot, but it's probably a lot more than most people, you know. I would never expect that money to come back to me at all. Like, it's unreasonable if Fortnite like shut down for whatever reason. Or they just, you know, went, hey, Fortnite 2 exists and none of your stuff carries over. I don't see that world being, like, I don't see that being the path that they would ever take. But if they did, right, hypothetically, I wouldn't be owed anything. And so I think the reasonable stance is if you get it back, you get it back, but you might not. All right, the Switch 2 got a firmware update. Speaking of firmware updates on the PS3, the Switch 2 got a firmware update that adds handheld mode boost, which improves the performance of Switch 1 games. Nintendo's latest console, the Switch 2, has been engineered to handle impressive third-party games such as Final Fantasy VII Remake. It also includes backwards compatibility, allowing you to enjoy titles from the previous generation of consoles. Following the latest update, these older games now perform significantly better on the Switch 2. Spotted by IGN, or, you know, just looking through the update notes, the latest update for the Switch 2, version 22.0.0, has introduced a feature called Handheld Mode Boost. This new update enhances the performance of games designed for the original Switch, allowing them to run in handheld mode with capabilities similar to those in docked mode. Nintendo has also clarified that while this mode will provide players with improved visuals, it could also increase power consumption. Moreover, handheld mode boost's impact will only be seen on some Switch 1 games, and the option will not affect Switch 2 titles. Additionally, because this tool forces TV mode operation, some instructions may be incorrect or fail to operate correctly. Players might experience that the new mode will prevent Nintendo Switch software from using the system touchscreen and will treat attached Joy-Con controllers as Switch 2 Pro controllers. To connect other controllers, players will first need to detach the Joy-Con 2 controllers from the console. So, yes, there are a few caveats. I was kind of hoping they would give a list. Somebody had one somewhere. Let's see if we can just jump to a new tab real quick and pull this up. I think Nintendo Everything had it. No, it's Nintendo Life. The better website, but also the more foreign website. So, which Switch 1 games will benefit most from Switch 2's new boost mode? So, let's see. The title, if you were page 4, remember, most other games will look sharper with boost mode engaged. These just showed the biggest bumps in handheld quality when played on Switch 2. And this is really only if you're playing your Switch 2 in handheld mode and running a Switch 1 game. This isn't necessarily for running a Switch 1 game in docked mode. Like, that already gets a benefit, but this allows the Switch 1 game to run as if it were docked on a Switch 1, but in handheld mode on the Switch 2. And I don't think that's very clear in how that works, but this is a list of games that are benefited, or at least have better performance in docked mode, which is most games on the Switch 1. So you'll definitely get some better performance if you're doing handheld mode. Why are they different, docked versus not? Mostly battery life, like power consumption. So when you're running, traditionally the Switch running in handheld mode would lower the resolution and the frame rate depending. But it really depends on the game. It was depending on how it was implemented. But mostly it was due to power consumption. It would like clock down the GPU and CPU a little bit, and then you had, if you docked to the Switch, your frame rate and resolution went up. Well, if you're on the Switch 2, you can get the boosted effect of docked mode for Switch 1 games now. Let's see. Oh, hey, XN. Just saw you're talking DLSS 5. Saw the controversy about it insulting game designers by redoing the work. Personally, I think it's cool. You can always turn it off, right? We'll get to it. I have some takes on it. I've shared some thoughts on X, but I have a few takes on it. We'll talk about it. We're getting there. And yes, I guess you could always turn it off, but there are reasons you might want to use it. All right, so yeah, I think that's cool. That's a pretty good list of games too that would benefit. I mostly play first party games on my Switch, but there are some titles that might benefit. XN just caught up. He must have put him at the beginning of the stream, or he went back and watched the beginning. I don't know. But anyway, all right, Switch 2 update. All right, so let's go to our next thing. Oh, go back to full screen. There we go. All right. I'm not watching this whole video. It's an 18-minute video, but we got Starfield confirmed coming to PS5, which has been long rumored and teased and talked about and whatever. And so now Starfield has got another DLC update, and Bethesda's confirmed it is coming to PS5 on April 7th. I was gonna go into more detail there, but I lost the tab apparently. Hey, we were talking about Fortnite earlier. It's finally coming back to the Google Play Store. Prefer queso, rah. Dude, no, that makes sense. YouTube chat feels sad now. Does it? Why does it feel sad? All right. So yeah, it had been, a while, but March 19th, Fortnite will hit the Google Play Store yet again. Let's hope that Epic can, stay on there now. I think it's cool. It's kind of like when it returned to iOS. It was really hype. The mobile side of Fortnite, I'm sure Epic was kind of feeling it. Maybe with it returning to the Google Play Store, they can fix the V-Buck inflation and update that they announced last week and bring people back. Speaking of updates, PlayStation Portal has a 1080p high quality mode and UX refinements via update rolling out today, March 18th. So if you have a Portal, goes with tacos. Switching to Twitch. Well, leave a tab up, man. Leave the YouTube tab up. I need the watch time. So apparently now you'll be able to, I guess we can go look at the blog. You'll be able to stream in 1080p instead of the lower quality, whatever it was, the default PS Portal. I guess it was 720. 1080p high quality mode. Players can now select a 1080p high quality mode during remote play and cloud streaming. Oh, okay. It's remote play and cloud streaming. New mode enables players to enjoy games at a higher bitrate compared to the default 1080p standard mode. All right, so it's a bitrate improvement, providing smooth and high fidelity experience. I'm sure there's some bandwidth expectations there. Introduce several enhancements to improve usability and reduce friction during cloud streaming sessions. Game invite, product detail page, enhanced trophy notifications, improved search screen. All right, that's kind of cool. Smoother onboarding. If you don't have an account for PlayStation yet, getting started is now easier than ever. With an improved UI and onboarding flow, you can now quickly create an account. Sign into your PS Portal by scanning the QR code using your mobile device. Well, that's nice. All right, so it's good updates. I didn't think Sony was super invested in this device, but it is nice to see it, getting some updates and get some more usability than just being a local cloud streaming device. You figured out Twitch vert streaming? You're so smart. XN, I just asked to be in the beta and finally got it set up with my stuff to work correctly. The legend that is Nutty on the internet, when it comes to streaming setups and such, he just provides so much information, dude, and responds to like comments on X that are like, you know, sometimes sarcastic, but was actually super helpful with the question I had. And so following his advice, I got it figured out, got it working stable. I was able to play Marathon on my PC and stream. Chrono is the GOAT. You know what? You heard it here, folks. Base Guru, founder, 68-month sub. I'm gonna pest you, tried a zillion times. Hey, I will be happy to help because I definitely, it took me some trial and error to really figure it out. And I finally just went, well, let's see if this works. And it worked. And I haven't touched it since. But yes, okay, so I'm kind of tempted to pick up a PS Portal. Like, I don't know that I would use it. And also play through some of these single player games I've been trying to play through. I just also don't have the time to go sit in the living room and play games for very long. It's been a while too. OBS really doesn't like whatever multi-canvas thing Twitch for it needs. Yes. Yeah, we can talk about it after I go through the game news. I'll show you guys what I've got set up. All right, let's talk about DLSS 5. Let's watch the reveal trailer. See, that's not as egregious. I have an issue with some of the examples, though. See, like, that looks like a totally different design. Starfield is nuts. Yeah, Starfield does seem to benefit greatly from it. I see, like, EA Sports Football Club, it looks fine. Alright, so I don't want it to autoplay, and I'm concerned that it will. But anyway, alright, so here's kind of where I feel like, you know, I want to look at things. Okay, so like, let's just jump back. We're going to talk about the backlash and stuff in a moment. Can I not get just the one frame? Dang it, I was right there where I wanted it. This one is not egregious. Okay, close enough. Close enough. The materials look better. Can you drag up? Magic. Not quite where I wanted it. It's like right between. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. Kind of like split her face in half. But also the materials look really good with DLSS 5. Like the scarf details look really good. The sleeve, like the wrinkles look more wrinkly. Her face looks more wrinkly. Like she looks like an old lady, but it looks like a slightly different face. The hair looks better. Like the lighting on the wand looks better. Like I don't think this is a bad example. My biggest problem though is the first example with Resident Evil Requiem. I think this is fine. This looks like a Netflix adaptation of Resident Evil Requiem. This looks like a different person entirely. Like, I don't know. I don't know why it feels that way. But it's just like, it's too different. And I'm clearly not the only person that feels that way. It looks too different. Now, I think the background details benefit so much. The jacket, the details on the leather, it looks more leathery. The stuff in the background, like over here, looks more like realistic. The reflections look better. The lighting looks better, but I think it does too much to facial features to make it look like an AI filter. They're just saying it's just affecting the lighting, you know, it's just more realistic lighting. But when a face looks substantially different, I think it's people's problem. And it could be that the lighting is handled a certain way with DLSS 5 interpreting that per pixel lighting that makes it look different. But it's not necessarily good if it's that different. Because I really think this looks like two different characters. It's like if you get a close enough actress in a show. Like I think it looks too different. You know, and in a lot of these examples, it's not as bad. You know, we can look at the beginning of Hogwarts Legacy. Like this one again, Hogwarts doesn't seem to be as egregious when it comes to the changes. It looks like the lighting is more dramatic on his face, but I also think the jacket looks better. Again, it looks more like I could identify the material or imagine what it feels like better than before. And I think that's important to making a game feel more alive. You know, those, like I said, those background details, those little details seem to be picked up a lot better with this. But I hate what it does overall to faces, because even this has some like details and some wrinkles. This dude's supposed to be a 5th year student. This looks like a 25-year-old actor pretending to be a student. You know, like that's kind of like my biggest problem with what it does to faces. Even the goblin here looks super old. Yes, I was full on adult. No, he's supposed to be a 5th year student who got accepted he was just older when he got accepted into Hogwarts is kind of the basis. I'm probably missing some details there. I've been off and on playing this game for almost a year now, and I haven't made it very far. The Starfield I think benefits the most because like this looks rough, and then again she looks like a different person. But at least, like, the benefits, she looks more alive than, like, mannequin that is acting like most Bethesda games kind of do that with the facial features. They're obviously, like, you know, I know that's a person. I know it's supposed to be a person. But sometimes, like, you know, the scalp lines make it look like everybody has hair implants. And then now it doesn't look like the lady has hair implants, you know. But her face does look very different here. And so if it's just lighting that's being changed, why do the faces look so different? Well, there's some sort of generative AI going on here. There's gotta be. Like, there's gotta be something happening behind the scenes. And that's where we'll jump into kind of the next few threads. DLSS 5 reveal trailer only has 16% likes on YouTube as players make their voices heard. Nvidia's new DLSS 5 technology doesn't appear to be winning over players yet, if YouTube statistics for its reveal trailer are anything to go by. So on Monday, Nvidia announced DLSS 5, the next generation of its image enhancement technology, which it claims is the most significant breakthrough in computer graphics since the debut of real-time ray tracing. DLSS 5 uses an AI model to alter the visuals, so they admit altering the visuals of supported games with what Nvidia calls photoreal lighting and materials. But there's been some backlash from players who have accused it of applying an unwanted filter of generative AI visuals over the original graphics. The backlash is reflected in the 70-second reveal trailer on the official Nvidia GeForce YouTube channel, which shows before and after shots in such games as Resident Evil Requiem, Hogwarts Legacy, Starfield, and EA Sports FC. At the time of this writing this video has been viewed more than 1 million times, but its ratio of likes to dislikes is only around 16% positive. Of the more than 98,000 likes and dislikes clicked on the video, only around 16,000 have liked the video, while around 82,500 have disliked it. And that's using those plugins that apparently still reveal the dislike ratio or the dislike number. I don't know exactly what's going on there, how they're determining that. Nvidia also posted 5 smaller demo videos showing how separate games look with DLSS 5 turned on and off. These two have been met with overwhelming negativity. Full stats are as follows. Do they have links to these trailers? Like they show... I'm curious if they show more. Like, I don't necessarily want to watch more of these. In apparent response to negativity, Nvidia has pinned a comment to the main reveal trailer in an attempt to explain to players that DLSS 5 is not a filter and ensures developers keep artistic control. It's important to note with this technology advance, game developers have full, detailed artistic control over DLSS 5's effects to ensure they maintain their game's unique aesthetic. The SDK includes things like intensity, color grading, and masking off places where the effect shouldn't be applied. It's not a filter. DLSS 5 inputs the game's color and motion vectors for each frame into the model, anchoring the output in the source 3D content. Jensen Huang, Nvidia CEO, has also downplayed criticism of DLSS 5, claiming the detractors of the AI technology are completely wrong. Are we completely wrong? I can see the evidence of my eyes tells me that there's some shenanigans going on here. And it's only specific cases that seem to be pointing it out. So the criticism, this is just a garbage AI filter. Clearly, they're telling us it's not. This was just to kind of point out that the Backlash is more backlashy than what other people have said. Previous iterations of DLSS used AI technology to upscale game resolution or improve frame rates. DLSS 5 uses an AI model to alter the visual of supported games with what Nvidia calls photo real lighting and materials. So we said that earlier. So, you know, it is altering the visuals. It will arrive this fall. I wonder what cards are going to support it. Because I know with DLSS 4, you had to have a 5000 series. So it says, clearly this is a massive glow up for environments. The character stuff is uncanny and weird, though. It feels like artistic expression risks being squeezed out. I wonder how much devs can get in and tweak the model to their artistic intent. Wish I'd been in these briefs to ask a few questions. I don't know who Alex Donaldson is. Maybe I should. But he's right. Like I said, the materials seem to benefit. Environments benefit greatly from these changes. But it's faces and people that just it looks too different. Oh! Yo, Revocation Radio coming in with a raid this morning. Thank you so much, bringing a party of 9 over on Purple. Thank you so much for being here. So I'd like to see more. Hey, Signin, thanks for the bit. Appreciate it. Alerts are muted right now because of we're in game news mode, so we're talking news articles and going over stuff. But I appreciate the support. Thanks for the follow. QDC. Heard the game was running on a 5090. And I don't know what you said. Thanks for following Taylor. 5090 is running on its own separate 5090. Interesting. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure. I haven't dove deep enough, I guess, to figure out what's going on. So let's see. I want to know what Jensen Huang, like the full quote of what he said, because he said gamers are completely wrong about DLSS 5. See, first of all, they're completely wrong. The reason for that is because, as I've explained very carefully, DLSS 5 fuses the controllability of geometry and textures and everything about the game with generative AI. He said that developers can still fine-tune the generative AI and that it's not post-processing. It's not post-processing at the frame level. It's generative control at the geometry level. Wong also said that developers can try the tool and see how they want to use it, suggesting that it's up to a developer to try to make a toon shader or see if the game should be made of glass. All of that is in the direct control of the game developer, he said. It's very different than generative AI. It's content control generative AI. That's why we call it neural rendering. So it sounds like it is an AI filter then, if you can apply different rules. Is there any VR news? I haven't really followed a bunch of VR stuff, so I don't have anything today. I'm sure if I were to look up like MetaQuest stuff, we could find some updates. But I have not followed. If there's anything you'd like to see, feel free to suggest. We can maybe find something for Friday's show. But that does sound more like an AI filter than it does anything else, because with him mentioning, developers can try the tool and see how they want to use it, suggesting it's up to the developer to try to make a toon shader or see if the game should be made of glass. Like, you can design it and have your original artistic intent, and then suddenly you have like less, or more. Like, you can change what DLSS 5 is actually doing. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm completely wrong in saying it looks like an AI filter that handles details really well. It's just weird with faces. See, Bethesda also weighed in on the criticism surrounding DLSS 5, replying to a post from Digital Foundry on X saying, "Appreciate your excitement and analysis of the new DLSS 5 lighting here. This is a very early look, and our art teams will be further adjusting the lighting and final effects to look the way we think works best for each game. This will all be under our artists' control and totally optional for players." Developers were left in the dark about DLSS 5. Speaking with developers and artists at studios that have agreed to DLSS 5, including Capcom and Ubisoft, Insider Gaming was told that the DLSS 5 tech was revealed to them at the same time as everyone else. "We found out at the same time as the public," said one Ubisoft developer. Devs at Capcom tell Insider Gaming that the announcement and the publisher's involvement were particularly shocking, as Capcom has previously been historically very anti-AI with projects such as Resident Evil Requiem and other unannounced projects in development. Some at the publisher fear that DLSS 5 announcement could prompt a change in the publisher's views on generative AI and its implementation in its games. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess if it's, Hey, Jay Walden, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Let's go. But yeah, like, if this is technically generative AI, right, then they would have to go, oh, well, we're not opposed to this kind of generative AI. Just, we're not generating our assets from a AI model, but we'll run our assets through an AI model to make them look better. Like, that's still using generative AI. So there's something to be said there. All right. So Starfield and future Bethesda titles will use AI-driven DLSS 5 technology, which, I mean, it seems like they would need to, given the benefit. Like I said, this is a definite improvement, but it does look like a different person, Nvidia has just unveiled DLSS 5. Yep. Okay, so in a blog post, Nvidia is saying the praises of itself and of DLSS 5, a revolutionary breakthrough. It has been dubbed the GPT moment for graphics by Jensen Huang, the company's co-founder and CEO. The technology has already been backed by the industry's biggest developers and publishers, including Bethesda Game Studios. Todd Howard wrote in a blog post, "Nvidia and Bethesda have a long history of pushing gaming graphics and innovation forward, and DLSS 5 represents the next major step in that journey. With DLSS 5, the artistic style and detail shine through without being held back by the traditional limits of real-time rendering. We're excited to work with this new technology and look to bring DLSS 5 to Starfield and future Bethesda titles." So, and it talks about DLSS 4.5, relatively young technology that, in Nvidia's words, uses AI to draw 23 out of every 24 pixels seen on the screen. But DLSS 5 goes beyond that, using AI-centric modeling to render photorealistic visuals that aren't landing well with every gamer, as you could imagine. Yeah, because it's applying the thing to your entire visual instead of just bumping up the details or some of that. It's going further. DLSS 5 is going further, and maybe it is a step forward that is going to be better. But this first look is not everybody's cup of tea. It in some instances it hasn't been mine. I mean, there's a lot I've seen people like complaining about it, and I kind of want to go back because I think this story here had links, because I want to say that the Starfield video I watched some of. It's a 25-second clip, so we'll see what it shows. So we saw the same things. But see, like, this shot has been one of my favorites to look at, the before and after, because the background details, there's less like haze. Like, look at the lighting and how things are just kind of hazy. Like there's maybe there's a lot of dust or like a fog in the room. And then this kind of does away with it, you know, in some spots. It still kind of looks like it, you know, replicates some of that here. But everything else looks brightened up, and then like all the little textures like on the floor and stuff just look way better. And so I think I like that aspect of it. So like this is one as well. Like just watching the coffee maker, I guess, or the drink machine, the laboratory, I don't know what we're looking at here. That says latte. Let's assume this is a coffee shop. Space coffee. You know, if it's off, we look at it and it looks kind of plasticky, kind of something looks, you know, some of this looks metallic, but not all of it. And then it turns on and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of see like what that's made of. The colors are more defined for each individual piece. It does look sharper, but is it a sharpness filter, or is it like, I wonder if it's what it's reconstructing, or how it's like, I wonder how it's interpreting these frames to get this detail out of it. Like, I guess years of AI use, you know, years of research on frame analysis way back in the early days of DLSS have led to this moment. But with that, like, the faces are still too different. Like, even this guy looks like he looks older. He's got age spots on his skin that he did not have before. Why is it making everybody look just older and more wrinkly, or more like, how is that lighting? That's not lighting changes. That's applying details that weren't there before. And maybe they were supposed to be there. I don't know. You know why people are mad about it? Well, it fundamentally changes what we're seeing, right? Like that's been the biggest issue. All right, Monkey Jacks, have a good one. Oh, Rohit, welcome in. So there's a tech demo? I don't know if I've seen this one. This is the one I like, though. Okay, so like the background details got a lot better. The textures look a lot better. But the guy's face doesn't change all that much. It does a little. Again, it's more wrinkly. This is an example of where the face isn't changed all that much. This one, the face, it looks a little like, again, there's more like, there's I guess a more defined like cheek on the lady. I don't really know. But the details in the background get way better. All the little intricate details on like the bracers here and the sword and like the leather pouch and stuff, they get better. Because it just looks kind of whatever. And then it's way more defined, more reflective. DLSS looks good. People always switch to turn this enhancement off. What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is, do you respect the artist's original vision, or do you just want whatever somebody tells you is going to be better, right? Because that's how this is being sold. This is better, and we can look at it and see in some instances it's definitely brighter. There are better details on some things, but a lot of the people faces we've seen look very different. It's like here, it just feels like there was a brightness enhancement. Some stuff's a little more reflective. Some stuff does look a little sharper, but I don't see that much of a difference here except in the brightness, right? This got greener. This got like a little more like rocky, like stone looking, you know, like I'm not completely opposed to this. I have questions about why it alters the faces so much in some of the demo we've seen. It's mostly Resident Evil that it changes, but I think Starfield, it changes it substantially. And that's the biggest issue, is are we interfering with what the artist originally wanted us to see, or are we just going to turn this on because it'll look better? You know, and at what point is it customizing my own experience to what I like and completely disrespecting what the game artist originally intended for me to experience, you know? And I guess to that point, you know, people put mods in games all the time, replacing characters entirely with other characters and stuff. That could be seen in the same vein here, but this is being like advertised as an improvement, and what we're seeing is it's not always just an improvement. You know, it's sometimes it's changing too much, and that it shouldn't change. It shouldn't change what we see to a point where we know it's different. It should be so subtle that it's like, okay, it does look more realistic. The lighting looks better. Things look sharper in the background, or what have you. But it shouldn't be, hey, why does he look older? Why does he look different? You know, it's that. I think that's the biggest issue, is people are seeing a difference that they can't explain, and so it looks like DLSS 5 is AI, you know, applying an AI filter to faces to change how the faces look in that post-process deal. I'm interested if they can explain it. And if they can show me, maybe with like a, you know, a wireframe model for a face, and show me like the before and after of what DLSS 5 is doing, and we could understand it a little better, that would be great. But as far as I can tell, it just looks like a filter, and it's mostly the faces. The details in the background stuff, again, I'm repeating myself, but the details are great. I like that things are getting sharper. The textures and stuff do look better. I'm just not on board with the face changes, because I don't think that's just a lighting change. It doesn't look like just a lighting change, right? But anyway, that's how I feel about DLSS. That's our like main story for today. But I have one more thing. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight got its release date pushed up. It was coming out on May 29th. Now it's coming out on May 22nd. You know, a few days earlier. But I thought that was kind of cool. One last thing to touch on. I probably could have put that earlier in the show, but it is what it is. But that's it. That's all I got time for. Well, that's all I have in terms of news anyway. But that is also all I've got time for. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for joining. Thanks again, Revocation Radio, for the raid. I appreciate it. We are going to find somebody else to raid out to this morning. Thank you so much to Jay Walden, Taylor J, and QDC258 for the follows. Sign in X, thanks for the bit. And Waving over on Purple. Guys, you're awesome. Thank you all so much for the support. And let's send this over to... Who are we going to pester this morning with a raid? Yeah, we'll send it to Lano. Reforge Gaming. He's playing Crimson Desert. He's talking Crimson Desert. A lot of news there. I didn't cover it here. I don't know enough about the game to cover it. Before I start the raid, though, did you guys check out the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer? It looks really good. Y'all should go watch it. I'm excited for it. If you're watching on YouTube, you will be redirected to Lano's channel, Reforge Gaming, where he's talking about Crimson Desert as well. And on Twitch, we'll just raid there and just send all of our viewers over that way. Y'all have a great day. Love you. See you tomorrow night. We're going to play some Pocopia, I believe. It could change, but that's the plan. All right. See ya.